So, good morning, distinguished panel of judges. My Ashfaq is in page number 3. I am Mahi Perera and I am presenting on behalf of my team, Dr. Keiffer, Ashfaq, Nazeer and Shaluni Tissera. So, this research is about knowledge and practices of first aid and CPR among police officers in Colombo and Gampaha. These are the contents. So, in the world, road traffic accidents kill about 1.3 million people annually, and 85% of them are from developing countries. So, the Global Burden of Disease group used a calculation called Disability Adjusted Life Years, which calculates the healthy life years lost. So, in 2013, out of 306 causes, road traffic accidents were the 5th leading cause of deaths in the world, and it's predicted to become the 5th leading cause in 2030. So, Sri Lanka is a developing middle-income country, and 90% of deaths in the world are from developing countries, while 21.4 million deaths are lost in middle-income countries alone. So the importance of this is that out of the 7 billion people in the world, 5 billion people live in middle-income countries. So in Sri Lanka itself, there are around 600,000 hospitalizations per year, and with an average of around 6 deaths per day. And actually this average is more than what we had during the Civil War. So around 61% of the total road traffic accidents and 41% of the fatal injuries are from the western province of Sri Lanka, which is where this research is mostly based on. So the Sri Lankan police recognized the impact of RTA, and in 2013 they initiated a public awareness program regarding accident prevention. So the police actually encounter the victims in the most crucial hour, where most of the lives are lost because of blood loss and spinal cord injury. So with appropriate first aid knowledge, they could actually not only help save lives, they could prevent a person who will live with a disability for the rest of their life. So our specific objectives were to assess the knowledge of first aid and CPR, and also to evaluate its practical applications. So a descriptive quantitative study was done using self-administered questionnaires, and it was distributed among police officers who were stationed in Colombo and Gampaha areas. There were 493 police officers who were chosen from convenience sampling method. So the results showed that around 85.8% were trained in first aid, and 66.9% knew that the left lateral position is the recovery position for an unconscious patient. So if a police officer would not use first aid for any reason during an RTA, they gave the above reasons. So around 50% of police officers who were younger than 30 years said that they were scared of the legal implications, and the middle age group from 30 to 50 years said that they lacked the knowledge, while those who are older than 50 years said that they had a lack of access to equipment at the moment of the road traffic accident. Interestingly, all the age groups said that they were scared of worsening the person's condition, so they did not use it. So, in a scale of 1 to 5, the confidence of their CPR, around 60.4% of those who were younger than 30 years of age said that they were competent. However, 49.3% of those who were between 40 to 50 years old said that they were not. So out of the police officers who said that they were well trained, around 23.1% were actually not competent. So from the police officers who have transported victims in the lifetime of their careers, around 42.6% did not use or did not know the log rolling technique, and around 42.3% did not actually apply pressure to prevent blood loss. So when we compared among the age groups, 58.2% of those who were younger than 30 years knew that they needed to apply pressure to prevent bleeding. However, those who were in the 30 to 50 year age group actually did not know this. So in a situation where a person has external bleeding, most of the police officers chose to take the person immediately to the hospital rather than preventing the bleeding on site. So out of them, 54% did not know how to check the pulse, and 50.5% did not actually manage the bleeding by applying pressure. So in fracture management, 70.6% knew that they needed to immobilize the fracture. However, 52.8% did not support the site, and 38.8% did not split the fracture site. So in general, we found that the age group 30 to 50 years had the least knowledge regarding first aid and CPR, and the overall management of fractures was unsatisfactory in all of the age groups. Also, the application of first aid for bleeding management was also not appropriately applied in all of the age groups. So there are several recommendations to address this issue. The first is workshops done in individual stations focusing mainly on the 30 to 50 year age group. And there should also be better monitoring and validation systems for first aid training programs that already exist. There should also be continuous development programs for police officers so that they could retain their knowledge throughout their career. And you could give first aid kits for traffic policemen who are there on the roads. So in 2013, India actually did a study which focused on medical legal cases and liability issues, and Save Life Foundation actually carried this out. And they petitioned to the Supreme Court of India because they found very compelling statistics saying that 88% of the bystanders would actually ignore a RTA victim because they were scared of the legal implications. So India in 2015 May, they came up with the Good Samaritan law, which actually protects the protectors of road traffic accident victims. So I think Sri Lanka could actually use an example from our neighboring country and apply these same kind of campaigns and researchers. So I would like to acknowledge the following people. These are the references. And finally, I would like to add that tomorrow, 15th of November, is the World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Accident Victims. Any questions?